Hello viewers, welcome to Selenium WebDriver video. In this video, I would like to demonstrate about how to work with radio buttons using WebDriver. For all Selenium WebDriver videos, you can watch my blog seleniumwebdrivervideos.blogspot.com, where I have kept all my Selenium videos in an ordered fashion, where you can also access the source code which I am demonstrating in this video. Alright, so let's dive into this concept. So what is a radio button? Radio button is something like where you might be having multiple options, multiple values which are combined and grouped. So here, as you can see, user has to select one of the values from the country of residence. So all these four values will be united into one group. All right. So let me show you the HTML of it as well. So this is my HTML file representing that. Okay, let me show you in this web browser itself so that you will have a clear understanding of it. So the entire thing is in a div where I have all these circles are called inputs, and this the deciding to that circle is called label. All right. So all these inputs will be having a same name. As you can see from here, the first element have a name country, and all these elements will be having the same name, but the value is different. As you can see, for the first element the name is country and the value is India. For the second element the name is country, the value is USA. All right. Likewise, how many number of values that you have, all will be having a same name, but the value will be different. All right. So all these can be combined with this name property. As you can see, with the country name we have four different values. All right. So these input boxes are input of type radio are succeeded by a label. All right. So in this video what I'm gonna demonstrate is how to choose a radio button where the value of that radio button is same as the label value. All right. So as you can see here, the value of this input of type radio is USA, where the label is also having USA, right? So in this scenario, how we will be selecting these inputs and all we will be covering in this video. Maybe in my next video I will be explaining about how exactly we can do the same operation when this value and label is having a different value. All right. So let's dive into this video and we will see what are the different operations that we can perform. All right. So this is the script which I'm going to demonstrate in this. All right. So the very first thing what I'm going to do here is I want to find out like how many values are there in this radio box. All right. For that what we have is, as I told here, all these will be having a same name, right? With where you can see the name is country for India, the name is country for USA, name is country, and the corresponding value is UK. So what I want to do here is I am trying to find out all the elements with name that will be I'm capturing in a list where I am finding that size and I'm just printing it here. All right. So let me execute this part so that you will have a clear idea. Firefox install started, navigated to that URL, and as you can see, which printed the number of values in the radio group as 4. As you can see here, we have 4 different values. So which printed accurately. So the next thing what I'm interested is I want to print out what are the different values associated with that radio button. So as we can see here, we have 4 different values, right? So the first value is India, and the second value is USA, and third value is UK, and the fourth value is Australia, right? So how can I print those values? As these inputs are, this input is associated with this value, I am getting all this collection, right? this collection I am capturing in this. So I am iterating through each individual web element, and I'm just printing the attribute of that value. So whatever the value existing for this input element got printed here. So let me execute this one so that it will list out all the radio button names that we see in that page. So Firefox instance started. As you can see, all the names of those input boxes got printed here. All right. So the next thing, how ca how can I know which radio button got selected here? All right. So as I told here, right? So we are having this list collection here. Then what I'm doing is I am iterating through each of these individual inputs. Once I get my input, I'm just getting the, for example, say my input which I got it, for example, say this one. So the corresponding value I am printing it here. Okay. So for that, what I am doing is I have my collection. I am iterating through each individual element by using get method of 0. So the entire thing which I am putting in a for loop. So in the first iteration, it will point to this input box and checks whether it is selected or not. If it is not selected, which will go to the next one and checks whether it is selected or not. Like that, it will iterate through each individual item. For that, what I am doing is I am going to that getting that web element using dot get of I. All right. And once I get that I, what I'm doing is I'm just checking whether that input is selected or not. So is selected method is used to check whether that input is selected or not. Okay, if it is selected, which will return you a true, and if it is not selected, which will return you a false. So here, whatever the input which is selected, I'm just capturing that value, right? So for example, say if this is my input which returns you true, I'm just printing UK. But in our example, as you can see already, India got selected. So which will print the India now. Let me execute this one and show you how exactly it is getting executed. So I'm just giving this as an example. You might be come across like in a big firm where you will be having all these like in addition to the different controls, you will be having this radio button as well. All right. As I told, see, it printed India here. All right. So that is how we can do like we can iterate through each individual element using get of I, and we use is selected method to check whether that input is selected or not. All right. The other way we can check this is the same thing, but I'm just putting in a different way. Whatever the radio buttons I have right here. So from this list, I am iterating through each individual web element. So I'm capturing that in a radio, and I'm just checking whether it is selected or not. So this statement will also print India now. Let me execute and show you. So these two things will be same, a different fashion. That's it. Different way of writing your script. As you can see, it printed India here. All right. So now let me show you if how can we select a specific value. For example, say if you want to select Australia or UK, how exactly we can select that value. For that, what I am doing is, as we have this collection, I am going through each individual input. I am getting the value. For example, say I want to select UK radio button here. So what I'm doing is, first I'm going here, I'm getting the value of it, which will obviously return this India. And this, because it is not I want to check UK, right? So India is not equal, then it will goes to the next element. Like that, it will iterate to each individual input, and whenever it sees that matches, then which will clicks on that input. So that is what I'm doing here. I have my list collection. I'm capturing that instance, each individual instance, and I'm capturing the value of that input box. If it matches, I'm just clicking on it. Okay. So let me comment this one and now see UK will be selected. Yes, you can see UK got selected here now. All right, this is one way of writing, like selecting a radio button. The other way you can do here is, like as you can see, this is another way, a simpler way. Rather than doing this for loop, I'm just putting it into in a single statement. What I'm doing is, I'm just putting an input of name, country, and I would like to select USA here. So whatever the value of this input box is, USA, that will select that radio box. All right, this is another way of doing that. So let me execute and show you. As you can see, we select the USA, right? So that is how we will iterate through each individual radio button, or else that's the different ways of selecting any of the radio buttons. All right, so that's all in this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that whenever I post a new video like this, you will get an update, and also share with your friends. And please leave your comments about this video. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.